Welcome back to Style by TST. In today's freehand tutorial, we are going to be making these two pieces. It's a crop top with keyhole design and baggy pants, which you can style separately if you wish. So for this, the pants is going to be cut together, both front and back. So you have to fold your fabric into four. You need your full Kampala for this. Kampala comes in about 5 yards, okay? Some call it Adire, Batik, whichever name you know it as, okay? So you mark your starting line. Then on one edge, you are going to mark your hip divided by 10. So whatever your hip is, you're going to divide it by 10 inches. So the hip I'm working with is 40 divided by 10, that is 4 inches, right? That is going to serve as my crotch extension for both front and back. Then for my starting line, I'll mark my hip divided by 4. So the first measurement I took was divided by 10. The second one for my depth is going to be divided by 4. That means 10 inches, right? So from that 4-inch mark, I'm going to mark my hip divided by 4 again plus ease. So you can add about 1 inch for ease, then 1 inch for sewing allowance. That is 2 inches total, right? Or half inch for ease, 1 inch sewing allowance. Whatever you want to do, okay, it's left to you. Then you mark your full length. So I'm going to add an elastic band to the waist, okay? So it's very, very easy. Just divide your hip by 10 for your extension, then divide by 4 for the depth, divide by 4 again to shapen it, and then add your ease and sewing allowance. So I'm just taking the measurements of the waist. Remember, the waist and the hip is the same thing, right? So I'm just taking it so I can know what to cut out for my band, okay? Remember, I added sewing allowance and ease, okay? So whatever it is, you just mark it out for your band. You can even add extra if you want. So it's better to have excess than to have shortage. So by the time you are done, you just cut out the excess. Hope you understand what I'm trying to explain. So just cut out your band, then you cut out your pocket. For my pocket, I'm doing the inner pocket as well, okay? So just what the way I'm going to cut my fabric. I'm going to fold into four and then cut it out, okay? I'm going to have about 7 to 8 inches on fold for the width of the pocket. Then for the length, you can do from 10 to 13 inches, okay? 13 might be too much safe. You can do from 10 to about 11, 12 inches, okay? For the pocket, this pocket is just going to be sewn like the bubble pocket I made. You can check my channel for that tutorial. So you're just sewing it to the edge of your pants, okay? It's just going to be inside. It's not like the other regular pockets. So this is like a quick way of making the baggy pants. So if you're into ready to wear, you can try out this, okay? So I'm just trying to explain it. You sew it to the edge like this. You know, it's right side facing each other. Then you sew the other edge as well. So when you are shaping, you just shape it out, just like I tried to explain using my hands, okay? So for the top, I folded my fabric into four. I'm cutting front and back together. It's a cut together sleeve and there's no joining on the shoulder line, okay? So the way you are going to fold it, you are going to fold it such a way that you are fold everything is on fold, right? The top part is on fold. So you mark your shoulder divided by 2, then you add your sleeve length and your sewing allowance, okay? Remember it's cut together sleeve. So you mark your armhole line, okay? You mark your armhole line, which you are going to still use as your round sleeve measurement, okay? Or your sleeve opening, whatever you want to call it. And then you are going to connect it. You mark your bust plus ease and sewing allowance. So your bust divided by 4 plus ease and sewing allowance. You can use 2 inches, okay? So 1 inch for ease, 1 inch for your sewing allowance, or 1.5, whichever one you want to do, okay? And I just curved it out a bit. Sorry, I didn't know the chalk was not that visible. I tried using the white one. I saw that it was not visible. So I switched to the yellow thinking it would be better, right? So whatever you take as your bust divided by 4 plus is an allowance, you take the same thing on the hemline of the top, okay? For this top, I'm doing 20 inches for the length. So depending on your model size, you can reduce or increase and depending on how open the person wants it to be, okay? Then for my neck, I'm doing 3 by 3 inches. For my keyhole design, I'm going to do 1 inch radius, okay? I can't show that here now because I'm just cutting this out, right? I'll just cut out a piece of fabric that I'll use for my keyhole design. I'll show you that later. If you have watched to this point, please subscribe, like, share, leave a comment for me. Thank you.